Welcome everybody, Mr. Double R, bringing you a new Let's Play in the form of Dark Souls. It's a game you either love or you hate, there's no in between. Now, I've been playing Dark Souls basically since it came out. I got into the first one kind of late, but I've gotten the next two basically the day they came out. I even played Bloodborne. The only one I haven't played to completion is Demon Souls. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't, but be sure I will do Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and Bloodborne. Now, without further ado, oh, by the way, before I go into this, my internet connection on my PlayStation in my studio is really weak, so I won't be doing any PvP online mode. I'm sorry if you want that. I know it's a big part of the game. I can't do it in this room, so maybe if I get my character built up, I can bring my PS4 into a different room, film it. We'll see, but in the main playthrough, I'm sorry, but there will be no online mode. I do apologize, but now let's get into the game. I've given like no thought to what I want to do. I thought I knew, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure on how I want to do this. Really, I've never played Dark Souls as a caster build, not the first one anyway, and it's actually kind of hard to do on the third one. I mean, it's not hard, but the stat requirements are pretty high. Anyway, it's not important. Maybe a guy. Really, the easiest way to play through the game is a strength build. So, I mean, if you ever want to start a level 1 character, if you want basic stats all around the board, just go from wherever you want. This is the way to go. You will start with no armor though, and a crap shield. Keep that in mind. If you want, pretty solid stats across the board, this is the way to go. Probably just gonna go either quality or strength or dex build. I don't know where I'm going right now, so I'm just gonna pick this guy. This probably the best one you can get is the Master Key, if that's what you're into. I'm probably gonna get it. It does make the game easy, but let's see. What ones do you want if you want to go specifics? This helps restore everything. This does more damage than regular fire bombs. Humanity, I'll tell you about when we get to it. Binoculars. If you get binoculars, it's a waste of a gift because you can get the binoculars right out of the tutorial. So never, ever get binoculars. Pendant is basically just a joke gift. It does not do anything. So if you just want to pick a gift to get it out of the way, but you don't want anything really, the pendant's what you gotta do. People have tried forever to find out what it does, but it really does not do anything. Master Key, I already told you what it does. It opens up not every door. Keep in mind, it won't open everything, but it opens up a lot. Tiny Beings Ring, it gives you a very minimal health boost. It's kind of a waste. And the Old Witch's Ring is a way to get early access to a covenant for pyromancies. Specifically Chaos Pyromancies. They tend to be stronger with lingering effects. However, I'm going to go with the Master Key. The Zeke really is just all cosmetic. Just go very slim just because. Go with that guy. You can go in depth with them. I'm not gonna. Works for me. Dark brown works for me, and we'll accept. And now you're going to enjoy a lovely cutscene. The game isn't heavy with cutscenes, but there are a few.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came, and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath, the scales, betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
Now, I'm playing this in 720. I hope later on to get a better computer so I can play it in 1080. I mean, I'm playing it on my PlayStation, but my laptop can't really support
the dark side brands the undead.
Setting on the Elgato.
And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away.
It actually came out in
to await
2011.
the end of the world.
I think it was 2011.
This is your fate.
Worth mentioning, I've actually only beaten Dark Souls 1 twice. I played a lot more of 2 and 3. And Bloodborne, for that matter. This isn't going to be a 100% run. If you want a comprehensive 100% walkthrough, look up a YouTuber named Fighting Cowboy. He has a lot of Dark Souls content from... He just finished a comprehensive walkthrough of this game. And he's got a lot of Dark Souls 2 content and a pretty decent amount of Dark Souls 3 content. He basically plays through it normally and then he'll come out with a 100% walkthrough. So if that's something you're interested in, I know I probably shouldn't be telling you to go see another YouTuber and then lose views myself, but if that's what you're after, he's a good one to look into. As well as Burricon, Epic Name Bro. I mean, if you're watching my videos, you probably already know of them. Vati Video is a good one if you want comprehensive knowledge of the story. Now, I'm not going to get a lot of these early trophies because obviously I've played the game. But if you are just now playing the game, once you light this bonfire, you will unlock a trophy on PlayStation and an achievement on Xbox. And I think they're just called achievements on PC too. So you will unlock something just by lighting that bonfire. Alright, watch this. Boom! Well, you can fight him, you'll get his weapon. You win the fight. And a very easy way to beat him right off the bat is to start with the black fire bombs. However, his weapon requires they're 40 or 50 strength, so you can't use it anytime soon. It's best just to beat him in New Game Plus. Field. I mean, I've played the game. I missed. I was trying to get a backstab. Quite a few times. I've only ever actually completed the first one, like I said, twice. But I mean, I can obviously beat the game. I've beaten it before. But if you really want comprehensive walkthroughs, they're who you go to see them. I'm here to just have fun and play the game. Not, like I said, I don't know where I'm going with this build. I really didn't think it through as much as I wanted to. Probably should have. Go up here, there's an Indiana Jones trap. Now this guy's got a decent amount of dialogue. If you don't want the story, just kill him because he's gonna die anyway. However, might as well.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness.
Fun fact, this character was supposed to have a lot more story. Like, he was supposed to...
Sanity. I wish to ask something.
This game got rushed towards the end.
Both undead.
He was supposed to be, like, opposite you the whole way through.
Regrettably,
he was supposed to be basically your rival in the game.
Mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. And thine exodus from the undead asylum,
like final boss after the final boss or something.
Lords, when thou ringeth the bell of awakening.
Kind of like Aldia is in Dark Souls 2.
Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh,
I think.
One more thing.
Something like that. He had more story than he got.
An undead favorite.
And there's your healing item. That opens up the door right up here, I believe. Right there. You're gonna want to get good at what I just did. Parrying is something that'll help you throughout the game. With like almost every enemy. Almost. Some you cannot parry, and it's good to learn who you can and can't. These just teach you buttons you need to use. Kick. Now normally if you see these in the game, it's because you're online. Hit triangle to two-hand your weapon. These are left by the creators of the game. They're tutorial messages. I don't even know what this one says. Resting at bonfires revives enemies. Now if you jump back like I just did and you hit an attack, he'll do a lunging attack. There's the heavy one. R1 is light attack, R2 is heavy attack. If you're a caster, your catalyst, pyromancy flame, talisman will end up being right here. Actually, is catalyst what they're called in this game? I think they are. Basically your sorcerer's staff is what a catalyst is. You want to get real good at parrying, because when you do a riposte, which is the counter move, it'll deal a lot of extra damage. In fact, you saw me do a backstab earlier. Ripostes will do more damage than backstabs. Or riposte. I don't know how it's pronounced. And here is where you do what's called a plunging attack. Just ignore that. Like I said, my internet is weak in this room. That's why we play in offline mode. Don't know why. I bought want to call it, a Wi-Fi extender for $80, and it didn't really extend it at all. Kind of a waste of money. Spent so long setting it up, it really didn't help. Just basically stay behind him, just attack him. Keep attacking if you want. There's no real need, he's dead. And humanity, I'll show you that now. Wrong screen, right here. Gain 1 humanity to restore HP. If you look in the corner where it says 0, 0, right next to my health bar, that's your humanity counter. If it's shining, like it's glowing, you're human. Like, I'll show you that in a little while, maybe. In Dark Souls 1, if you're human, you can invade and be invaded, but you can also summon. Since I can't play online anyway, there's no point for me to be human, really. I think if you're human, you get resistances to certain ailments like curse. Not 100%. Don't really remember. What else is there to be human? Well, I don't know if you need to be human, but if you have upwards of 10 humanity max, your item discovery rate will be higher. It maxes out at 10, but the higher the number from 1 to 10, the more easier it will be to farm certain items, or really any item that is dropped by an enemy. Over here, you get a soul of a lost undead. It's just an item to give you more souls. If you look at the bottom, it says 2,288. That is both your experience and your money, so you got to be smart with how you use it. Over here, see that nest? There's items in the game where you can come back to this area later on, and I'll show you how to do that in a later episode, where you will leave them there. You have to quit out in Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 2, I think it's automatic, but in Dark Souls 1, you have to quit out or leave and come back. You have to reload the area, and they will. There's 2 crows there. I forget their names. Is there another item around here to grab? I think there is. Maybe not. I guess not. Anyway. They will leave you items depending on what you left. As far as I'm aware, you can only do it once per item in this game. But anyway, let's go.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Clever name. Now, as I was talking about being human, become human again, you need to come to a bonfire. And reverse hollowing. You need to have at least 1 humanity. And right here it says kindle. That's another thing. You need to be human to kindle, I believe. That's one more perk for being human. I kind of forgot about that till just now. Now, I'm going to level up probably health for a little while. Until maybe at least 20. A few more, and then I'll probably put something somewhere else. I'm still not 100% sure where I'm going with this character. Before I call this video, I want to do a couple of suicide runs to show you where a couple of items are that are pretty important. And I'll try for the one first, because there's a chance I can survive trying to get it. Probably not. So, I mean, you don't even need to get these items. They're just really helpful to have early on, especially 2 of them. And I'll show you where to get them right now. before I call it the video. So I might die a couple times, it doesn't matter, I'm not human, I only have 65 souls, that's nothing. So before you leave this elevator, always send it back up, because you probably will die. And well, chances are for the one run, you almost guaranteedly will die, but there's... Also, I'll show you this too. Well, I want to try something. This is Sparta! Anyway, that's always fun to do. Come down here. This is technically your first merchant slash blacksmith of the game. He's more magic oriented, so I'm not even going to talk to him. Actually, I will talk to him because I want to tell you something about him.
Yeah, but more importantly, you're free. Well, I'm
See,
Ricky.
Ricker. His name is Ricker. A lot of you watching this probably already know this. However, a lot of you probably don't. Dark Souls is heavily inspired by the manga anime called Berserk. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. Just go watch / read it. Rickert is actually basically stolen right from that. Rickert in the anime / manga is a friend of the main character who grows up and eventually apprentices with a blacksmith. Well, he's a blacksmith named Rickert. So, you know, fun fact. I'll try to point them out as they come along if I know them. But maybe I'll forget and never do it again. You never know. So if you come right here, I didn't get a backstab. Whatever. Get an S stock off the shiny corpse, not the guy I just killed. And then you come down here. You don't have to jump. I just wanted to. You don't have to kill all these guys. They're basically just chump souls anyway. 20 souls. You get a transient curse. That will temporarily inflict you with a status called curse. Which, if you get actually cursed, you're not going to have a good time. Because it will have your life permanently until you cure yourself of curse. However, this area where we're going to is basically the only area where curse is actually relatively a good thing. Because if you do not have, I believe it needs to either be an enchanted weapon or a cursed weapon, which is what transient curse is. It will curse you and your weapon, but you will retain all your health, and you can fight off these ghosts. Now, a Firekeeper Soul. Let's see if I can survive this. Nope. That's fine. What a Firekeeper Soul does, I'm about to show you, will make your Estus Flasks stronger. There's a couple of ways to get Firekeeper Souls, and there's a couple that you can just get off corpses lying on the ground. And the way to... how many are there in the game? As far as I'm aware, ones you pick up, there's not very many, but however, there's Firekeepers throughout the game. You can kill them, not necessarily this one. And you just reinforce your Estus Flask, yes. Now we got a Flask +1. Now, next suicide run. This will get us a weapon and a very powerful shield. The weapon is decent. I'm using it on a different run. It's kind of a niche weapon. It's kind of just cool looking. I mean, I imagine it can be pretty strong. I'm basically testing out that theory now in my other playthrough. But you're almost guaranteed gonna die going to get it. I mean, you probably survive. If you're fast enough, I imagine. Oh, try to be fast enough, I guess. See what happens. Fast rolling. Nope. Shield's gonna be useless. Nope. There we go. That's a fast roll. If you can help it, you want to always be fast rolling. It gives you the most iframes, the most distance in your roll, and it's the fastest roll, obviously. That's why it's called a fast roll. Now, in theory, you can skip with the Master Key. You have to go up and fight this other boss, but you can go right down to boss down that tunnel over there, where my sword is pointing. There's two bosses that you need to fight, progress the story, and one of them is down that way, and one of them is up back where we have to go. You need to fight them both. You don't technically need to fight them in order. However, you decide to go that route, that boss is strong. Stronger than the proper way. And in fact, the shield we're about to get is actually good for that boss, because that boss is a fire user and this is a fire resistant shield. You can totally just skip this guy and go down that way. As you can see, kind of, there's dragons there. Well, there's a dragon right here, and unfortunately we got to deal with the big dragon right now. Restore a straight sword, restore dragon pressure. Oh, we didn't die. Can I get that item? I doubt it. Let's try to find out. Oh wow, that actually worked out. Even if he kills us. Oh boy, that worked out. Let's see if we can get back through that way. Is that toxic? Probably is. Wow, I never had it work out that way. Cool, now there's one more possible suicide run I want to make, and since I have no souls, it doesn't really matter if I die. Whatever. Actually, that's a faster way to get back up. I did not notice I was out of stamina. However, it's better that I died there, because I would have had to wait for the elevator anyway. I actually have to cut this video short pretty soon, so it's actually good that I'm gonna finish it up right here. There's a lot of stuff to be had over here, but keep in mind, well, I'll tell you in a second. Over here, we'll fall off the edge, another soul item. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call it pretty shortly here. My baby's waking up. Come over here, there's a, I want to say this is the shield. Now, skeletons are very resistant to pierce and slash damage, and you can find out, or thrust, whatever you want to call it. Not pierce. And you can find out what weapon, what type of attack your weapon has in your inventory. Alright, come over here. I want to say it's the Zweihander, yep. And right over here. Right in the beginning of the game. Binoculars. So you got, plus their weapons do a lot of bleed damage, so if you build up bleed, you're gonna take just a huge chunk of damage just because you got bled. Wing spear. So keep that in mind. Bleed damage is very strong in this game. So let's see if we can get back to the bonfire. Let's find out. Let's find out if we can get back to that bonfire without skeleton showing up, because if enemies get too close to the there we go. Enemies get too close to the bonfire, you cannot rest at it. Just keep that in mind. Now let's talk to him and we'll call it.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the... But there's no salvation here.
I know I'm going to skip this dialogue. However,
well, since you're
talk to him, he'll basically tell you two bells awakening. That's what I was talking about. There's two bosses here to fight. They're not right one after another. However, you can pick the order you want to fight them.
In the room, bring them both.
If you have the master.
Something happened. Not much to go on. I have a feeling
that's basically the only direction you're going to get in the really in the game. But I have to call it here. My baby's waking up. Look forward to more Dark Souls videos. I really love this game. I really hope you love it. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you in the next one.